Okay. So I decided what I'm gonna do is maybe take one of these poses and do a second pass or second sketch on it, and maybe flesh it out a bit more, ink it. Who knows? I think I like like I said, I like them all, but maybe the first one is a cool one to try. So I'm gonna keep this off to the side to be able to reference it. And I think normally I would rotate the page like this, but probably then it doesn't fit completely on the page, so I'll stick with what I have here. And I'll work pretty much in the same kind of loose fashion that I did for the first one. I'm trying to think to myself where the torso is going to be, and it's going to be relatively important that he fits on the page, of course. So we'll see the shoulder, we see this twist in the beanbag idea. So the crotch is turning towards us when the chest is turning away from us. And we kind of follow this gestural line of action over to the head, and thinking about where everything is going to fit. It's probably a good size, good placement, and that is one of the benefits of course, the digital media, that you get to reposition or rescale your sketch, so you can develop it. Where here you're pretty much stuck to the outside boundaries of the paper. We go into the knee here. The other foot fell way back, somewhere over there. This foot should be bigger than probably. And here we see a lot of the muscle mass squished together. And yeah, this is starting to look pretty much like what I had in the earlier version. Not sure how well it shows up on screen. Well, it's okay, a little bit light, but I am actually working quite light, so that is quite, I would say, representative of what I'm doing. Now for the chest and the line of the shoulder, and we'll get the arm jutting out from that. And it comes up a bit more. Okay. Seems to be working relatively well so far. I'm gonna insert some more, well, structural lines, the clavicles here. So we have the sternocleidomastoid. Here we get the chin, and we'll look for the size of the head. Okay, I'm gonna move up the crotch and groin, and make his leg come out a bit more. Let's grab my eraser, a kneaded eraser. Kneaded as in Kneaded. Although sometimes I also knead it as in Need. But okay. Now, I think because I moved this up, this leg is also going to have to move up a bit. And I'm working in the same very rough manner that I did with the earlier sketch, the kind of thumbnail. And there we go. Let's look for this arm and how it stretches. Let's maybe reposition ever so slightly the hand. Now, you maybe, I hope I posted it already in an earlier video where I relax the pinky and the index finger, stating that I think it makes for a little bit more believable hand position, maybe a little bit less dramatic. But if I do it myself, stretching these two completely, pretty impossible. And I suppose that in some quick action where you press the two middle fingers in your palm, these fingers are going to fairly relaxedly move along upward. So maybe in that sense it would be more believable. Of course, it is always the question how much, especially with these kinds of action heroes, how much do you want to stick to, well, the biology and physics, and how much do you want to add some drama. So maybe sticking it out a bit more is going to already increase the level of drama. And this kind of, searching for the optimum is, of course, what sketching is all about. the eyes and the placement of those, probably somewhere around there. And we see this epic twist in his torso. Well, here we basically have our replica, a little bit larger, a little bit more of a bend and twist, a replica of our thumbnail. So yeah, now it's a matter of refining it, and I'll put this one away, I don't need it anymore. I can take my finer pencil tool and come in with some refinement. Maybe already lightly erase everything. So that I have a little bit more visibility. Well, some lines are a bit stubborn, so I'll use more of a polymer or elastomer eraser. And here we go. Let's start with the head. Now, these lines are thinner. They are already more precise, but there's still plenty, I would say, room for mistakes. It's not like now all of a sudden I have to commit, or I am committed to this without any possibilities for corrections or improvement. So in that sense, I do want to try to be very confident in my strokes and application. And whatever I have done in the rougher sketch, I can, of course, look for how it should be improved, what I don't like about it, what I do like about it. I'm gonna at some point use some line variation and maybe specific techniques. Line weight is going to be important, but for now I'm just sketching and refining the line work, getting a cleaner version as well as an improved version. I'm trying to look for some anatomical landmarks and indications already. Now I'm gonna have to make a decision about the fingers. Let's clean up this eraser. So I'm gonna opt for having the fingers somewhat stretched out. The two middle fingers, ring finger and middle finger, gonna be here, and pressing downward, something like that. And well, not perfect yet, but maybe already a step closer. I think this finger should come toward me a bit more, like this. Yeah, this seems okay. At least for now. The thumb somewhere over there. Let's move on to some of the larger parts again. Not linger for too long on one point. So, middle line, I'm gonna show a little bit of the rib cage like this, with quite the strong twist toward the crotch, which is gonna be here with the leg coming out. Very pointy. Maybe we could do with a bit more asymmetry. Yes, this would be kind of the kneecap. And let's see the calf. A lot of mass on the inside of the calf. And moving into ankle, we get something like this. I always like the pointy toes. Very exaggerated. Something like this. Buttocks. Everything is fully stretched here, of course. Lifted up. And you see this attachment. Probably a bit higher up, but okay. And here we see the same. Yeah. Knee. The vastus internus. We have the rectus femoris externus, which is a little bit higher up, and well, don't know how much of that anatomy I want to show or express. Here as well, this would be the teardrop shape, probably wrapping up around to this point. A lot of the muscles on the back, the hamstring, but I'm not sure how much of that I want to show. I do want to show here the foot and show that it's a lot smaller than this foot. So we have a lot of difference between large and small. Large, small, very dynamic in that sense in the third dimension. And off to maybe the smallest detail here, the hand and the thumb gripping it. Really important not to get too bogged down by that, but find an indication of how the hand is holding the web. So here we have Spidey shooting his web this way. And the other web is clenched in his fist. Maybe coming from that direction. All right. Well, that's, I would say, pretty much it. Let's look a little bit for these serratus muscles here. And also find this insertion. I'm gonna have to clean up this rubber quite a bit. And as I think already mentioned quite often, this kind of intricate anatomy is something I should maybe spend a bit more time on learning, but well, don't always have that time. Do have a full-time day job, and on top of that a kid, so hardly ever do I still find the time to do some studying just for funsies. I usually have to, well, use the time that I have for myself. Well, just drawing, but maybe at some point I can do kind of what would we call it? Demo or draw along and do a little bit of studying while drawing. Kind of trying to look for his suit. I'm not sure. I think it'll wrap over around the back, and we'll definitely see the red of his costume here. If I'm gonna stick to a very classic costume, then that is going to be quite challenging with all the webbing. But maybe I can just look for the colors without the intricate texture of the webbing. Okay. I think this about completes this sketch. Let's erase this. Still look for some of that Sartorius here. And, well, I'm not sure how much of this muscles in the back I want to show. The leg is stretched, these muscles are stretched, so they are relaxed and stretched out, not much definition or toning of their muscles. Those muscles would be visible, I think. We would see some of the kneecap as a little indentation, and perhaps I want to show just a tad bit of, well, this muscle, but also here these muscles are stretched, so they are going to be more relaxed. And I think I'll keep it at this. Maybe in a second video I'll take some pen and refine it in ink, and probably can't hurt then to have a little bit of a closer look in how these muscles are portrayed from this particular view. But for now, let's end the video here and call it quits, and see you next time. Bye for now. Cheers.